think the international community has a key role to play to help change governments like the one from Equatorial Guinea. To go from dictatorship to democracy in a place like Equatorial Guinea, the international community should first and foremost be putting pressure on that government. That government, the government of Equatorial Guinea, should not be allowed to visit any foreign countries without the question of democracy, human rights, transparency being raised by a journalist or being raised by some of the government officials they're meeting with, right? NGOs in those societies. Equatorial Guinea for several years has escaped scrutiny by NGOs, not only by governments, right? It's funny. I mean, I tell people this joke about how Equatorial Guinea, in many ways, is a very international country, right? It's a country that was colonized by Spain, so we speak Spanish. The money that we use is based on the French money, so we use franc CFA, which was francs from French. The military in Equatorial Guinea is trained by Moroccans and Israelis. The education system is basically financed by Spain. The healthcare system, but for the Cuban doctors, there'll be no healthcare system inside the country. So you have all this international influence, yet nobody knows about Equatorial Guinea until someone like myself from civil society gets out there and tells them where Equatorial Guinea is. I mean, I've been to Congress several times where I would talk to a congressional staffer about the Equatorial Guinea, a congressional staffer working on Africa. And in the next sentence, they will say, oh, Equatorial New Guinea. There is no such country as Equatorial New Guinea, you know? And we always confuse with Ecuador, maybe because we speak Spanish. And we always confuse with Guinea-Bissau or Guinea-Conakry. So people don't know where Equatorial Guinea is. So really, journalists can do a lot in shining a light on what is happening inside EG if we will talk more, if we will write more about Equatorial Guinea. Journalists can do a lot about denying President Obiang good press internationally. So when the Sullivan Foundation, for instance, accepts to have the Sullivan Forum in Africa, in Equatorial Guinea, there should be journalists from Washington, D.C. criticizing both the Sullivan Foundation and the Equatorial Guinean government. When the Equatorial Guinean government decides to have the UNASUR conference in Malabo, there should be journalists from Venezuela, from Brazil, from Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, etc., criticizing that step. So there is a lot they can do over there. Right now, I have Wenceslao, my friend, Dr. Wenceslao Mansogo, in jail. It is critical for ambassadors or countries with an ambassador inside Equatorial Guinea to be pushing for these innocent men to be released immediately. The life of an innocent man, the liberty, the freedom of an innocent man should not be an issue of negotiation. When you have had a trial that was attended by diplomats and in which not a shred of evidence was shown, was given as to why this man should be in jail, the international community should be vocal about why this man should be freed immediately. I mentioned President Teodoro Obiang's son, who is also Teodoro Nguema Obiang. There is an international arrest warrant pending right now against him, issued by the French authorities. I would hope that all the international communities, all nations out there, we cooperate with the French, with Interpol, to arrest Teodorin wherever he goes for money laundering and fraud. You know? So there are concrete things that the international community can do to help ensure that there is rule of law, or that the president of Equatorial Guinea senses that the international community would not bow down to his oil or to his corruption, to his human rights violations.